is going against first-team guys. Obviously, we didn't have a few guys go, but we can't lean on that as a crutch. We should have done a better job in the first half of executing. There's no way of getting around that. Not extremely pleased with how we played, in that first group. But you guys know we're going to watch the film and clean that stuff up. But like you said, it's valuable for me, valuable for our team when you get to go against a defense like the Steelers. I mean, every year they bring the house. They have really good players across the board. So it's good work when you're able to bank reps against a good team.
How frustrating is it when you can't get into a rhythm, you can't get the ball across the field? It seems like those drives are stalling out, whether it's execution or penalty. How frustrating is that as a quarterback position?
Yeah, it's frustrating, but as a quarterback, you kind of have to keep the even-keeled mindset of kind of getting the guys going again. And we just shot ourselves in the foot too many times today. We have too many drive killers, unfortunately. But as the quarterback, you have to kind of get them going and make sure that we're on to the next series. Is it frustrating? Of course. But you can't really let that show, number one, or let it affect your game. So, you kind of take each play like it's an individual game, and you have your win, you have your loss, and you kind of just play the situations out. But definitely frustrating, but we're going to learn from it.
What did you think of the way David played down the stretch, and what do you make of the little battle you guys have going on there?
Yeah, David played incredible tonight. He's a competitor, man. He really is. He impresses me every day. He's just got that mindset of go out there and throw the ball and sling it. And a lot of off schedule today for him, which worked out nice. But he put us in a position to win the game today. Is all you can ask. And in the quarterback room, we're proud of him. I'm proud of him. And we're going to continue to push each other every day. And that's how I like it. That's how he likes it. And at the end of the day, though, he's David and I'm Tim, and we're really good friends off the field, and we support each other. We have each other's back. But he did a really good job tonight. I'm proud of him.
Beyond tonight, how do you just feel about your preseason to this point, your training camp to this point, where you're at heading into the regular season?
Yeah, I think I've had a good training camp. Your evaluation is games, and I don't think I've played well enough in my standards in the game. I've put people in a position to make plays. Can I be more accurate? Can I be more on time? Can I make better decisions? Of course. But like I keep telling you guys, it's just a matter of banking those reps. And as you guys know, most of my playing time have been in preseason games. So whenever I have experiences like this, I can take them in, absorb them, learn from it, and it's extremely valuable for me.
I know you said no excuses basically, but how tough is it with a center and a left tackle? You have a bunch of moving parts up front. The guards rotate in and out. Is it hard to get communication down?
No, the communication was fine. And to be honest with you, both of those guys who played for Deck and Frank were very capable people. So there's no excuses. I trusted both of them. They played well. It's just a matter of executing and doing your job. And it's 1/11th. And you guys will hear me say it. It's an easy game when you break it down like that. But we have to do a better job of not shooting ourselves in the foot penalty-wise and converting on third down. I think that was a big deal for us tonight.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you guys.
same thing. We see you making plays at different levels of defense. Why are you experiencing, I guess, such comfort in this defense so quickly?
I think it just started from college, honestly. Just having the ability to make plays, putting your teammates on your back, just playing for my teammates, period. We started off slow in the first half, but that's okay, though. Second half is 0-0. I know it's my time to come out there and play, and all I want to do is make plays, and not just for myself, but for my teammates. So that's just my whole mentality, my whole, motto is just, play for the guy beside you. I think that's huge for me. It's not an individual sport, it's a team sport. So once you start making plays, you see guys, start following. Now everybody wants to make plays, and just being a leader. I know I'm young, but I have a leader mentality, and that's just what I want to do, make plays and play for the guy beside me. So.
You walk us through that. I think it was back-to-back plays there in the second half when you knocked that pass down and you got the sack. Just what you sort of saw in those plays.
Honestly, it was just the call. Coach made a great call. And it was just set up that way. If you don't have the back, you have the cut man. I just read the quarterback guys and jumped it. Should have caught it, but it's good play. But with the sack, it was just like another great call by the coach. Set it up, and as that player that's blitzing, you need to be able to kind of read what the tackle's doing, where's the back stepping them to, because I could have made the play or the outside linebacker could have made the play. Depends on where the back step to, and I just happened to make it. And it's like layups. You got to make your layups, especially wide open though. But that's kind of happened between those two plays.
You dealt with the hamstring injury a little bit early in camp. How satisfying has the last two preseason performances been, knowing that you had a little bit of a slower start and you've been able to kind of ramp it up now and get some game action and actually make some plays?
Yeah, with the hamstring, it was kind of frustrating. Like I mentioned last week. Never really had hamstring problems, like ever. Never really set out practice in college, and that's kind of frustrating for me. The player I want to be and the guy I want to be on the field is just having to sit out and watch everybody else go and compete. It kills me. So that's where you have to take mental reps. You have to be in the training room 24/7. Getting rubbed down, wherever it takes, getting out to a cold tub after every practice, even if you're not practicing. And just to be able to, get on top of that and, still do, stuff in a training room to keep it update. And then to be able to come out here and play, knowing that you're not limited of doing anything, it's amazing. It's terrible being away from football, and the fact that, I can continue to be healthy and continue to play is awesome. So I'm excited.
Before those two plays that Dave mentioned, the pass break with the sack, you missed a tackle on the backfield. You kind of got up slow and looked like you were limping a little bit. Just what happened on that play, and I guess what goes through your mind as you, like you said, talk about the hamstring, like it was such a battle back. Was there any fear in that moment? No,
it was actually just cramps. That's it, just cramps in the calf. It was some minor, nothing major. Thank God. But just get back up, stretch it a little bit, and get ready for the next play. That was kind of frustrated again, but you got to leave that in the past. Especially tackles like that. That's very critical. But you miss some, you make some, but it just depends on how you react and how you get up and go to the next play. So.
Tim mentioned the hamstring and just really going back to spring, it was sort of a little disjointed for you, on the field or off the field. What do you think you've proven to this point in camp, since you've been back healthy, whether it's to yourself, to your teammates, to your coaches, whoever? What do you think you've shown, some of the opportunities?
Just that I can improve. It's still a learning process for me. It's not all bread and butter. It's not all clean. It's just learning. I'm young. I'm a rookie. I have great older guys in front of me right now, Jamie Collins and Alex, and Jelani and Jerem. A bunch of those guys has been bringing me along, showing me the ropes and ties of the game. Just in those situations, like learn how to read the offense. In situations like fourth down, what kind of plays and they just keep putting that in my head and just keep developing me as a player. And I'm a learner. And before you can teach, you have to learn. So I'm always willing to listen, always willing to be coachable. I think that's been my biggest focus is just getting better and learning, because that's take you far.
One more specific play, the pass breakup at the goal line. You jumped that route. How mad are you that you didn't come down with that one?
Oh, God. Yeah, I just know I need to get on the jugs after practice. I need to get on the jugs after practice. It's kind of the moment. That's when I realized I wasn't in college anymore, how fast that ball was coming. It was, definitely got to work on my hands. Got to catch those. Like I said, got to make the layups. But like I said, make some. You don't. Just how you get back up to the next play. So.
A couple more guys. Levi had a couple nice plays today. Bruce Hector, Kevin Strong. I mean, what have you seen from those guys playing in front of you?
I can tell you one thing. We are in the up with the D-line. We have an amazing D-line. I love playing behind those guys. Like Lean, Levi, Bruce, like all those guys are phenomenal players, and just clean up some. We all clean up stuff, but as those guys keep developing, keep getting better, the sky's the limit for those guys. And, I'm very excited to play behind them when I can. So.
I think you, Levi, A.J. Parker, those some of the standouts today. Is there something about this rookie class or rookies in preseason, or why do you think maybe that, sort of some of these rookies, your class are some of the ones standing out on the field?
We're hungry. I mean, that's just what it is. A.J., incredible, undrafted guy. Day one is on top of his stuff. Day one, literally, he's amazing. Just the whole rookie class together, like the guys who are still here are just fighting for a job. If not here, somewhere else. That what motivates all of us. No telling if you're going to be here today or tomorrow. Like you have to give it all every time you're on the field, and I think that's what drives this rookie class. Is you just never know, and we all connect, we all becoming close, especially from rookie minicamp. We all met each other like we just clicked. It's sad to see some of the guys that you start building relationships with leave, but it's the NFL. But wish those guys the best of luck. With the guys we have now, everybody's just hungry. Everybody wants to make plays. Everybody wants to get better. Everybody wants to be trusted. So.
All right, take care.
Yep.
Guys,
explain what this camp has been like for you. We see you as kind of a safety defensive back coming in, and suddenly you're a running back, and then today you're running the ball with such confidence. What have the last few weeks been like for you?
Man, it's been a challenge. It's been intense. It's also been really cool. It's been a blessing. I mean, Coach called me, told me, we think your best shot's at running back. I'm like, let's do it. And, they were cool. They're like, yo, just be yourself. We're not going to expect a ton from you. But they believed in me, They're like, we think you got it in you. We see the potential. So I'll go out there, be yourself, play loose. So to see it, just the grind over the last few weeks, like just them building up my confidence. And that's still a journey I'm on, but definitely feels more natural even than safety. And I think that's what they saw. So just props to Dan, just seeing that Deuce, A-Lin, and just continuing to build up from here, God willing, but it's definitely a good feeling.
When did Dan make that call, and what was your reaction to it?
Yeah, I mean, it was probably about 2 weeks before camp started. I just see him calling. I'm like, yo, what's my man calling me for? Yeah, there's a little PTSD. I was like, yo, what's going on here? But so I mean, when I got the call and he's like, yo, what do you think about running back? It's kind of surreal for real, honestly. I feel like, a year ago I was just at the crib. It was my last 2 seasons. I have been just grinding, played XFL for a bit, but like a year ago, honestly, I played running back in high school, but it had been a while. But I was just kind of just grinding on my own. I was going on walks at night just to kind of get my mind right. But no kid, I just was just in my spirit, just praying to the Lord, and He's like, "Yo, you're gonna be playing running back." Like I'm like, "Yo, Lord, like chill out. There's no way. Maybe I'll play semi-pro somewhere, play running back, but." He's like, you're going to play running back. I'm like, all right, Lord, I mean, we'll see what happens. So to get that call a year later, it's like, yo, it's crazy to really to think about it. But I just been walking by faith and not by sight. Even when it felt like, I wouldn't get the call again, just like, yo, we're going to keep pushing. There's a vision there. I'm going to keep pressing in. So to see it come around like this, it low-key feels surreal. It feels like a dream for real. But, you know, this is just the beginning. You know, I have a lot to prove still as a running back, as a special teamer, just trying to grow and be consistent. You know, I haven't reached any pinnacle by any means. So for me, it's just doing the same thing I've been doing, showing up every day to work, grind, and just continue to walk by faith.
What were you when you got that, when you had that sort of epiphany?
I was walking at my family has a farm. My mom has a farm, and my stepdad, and we have like 0.6 miles of just road that goes up to our house. So it's just every night I was just walking, you know, just being at the crib for so long. You're like, yo, what's going on? There's a lot going on in your mind. It's a pandemic. So I just started walking at nights just to get my mind right, just to kind of settle my spirit, and just to kind of talk to the Lord. And just one of those night walks, just looking up at the stars. It feels crazy, but, you know, that was just really one of those moments where I just felt the Lord speaking to me and telling me that. So I even journaled it. So just to see it come into fruition is pretty wild. But, you know, I'm nothing but grateful. Like I said, just been grinding. Just one of those dudes that just kept fighting, kept putting in the work in, and hopeful to see it continue to pay off.
Where's the touchdown? Where's the farm?
It's out in Pickering, Canal Winchester in Columbus, Ohio. It's about 29 acres they got out there. They've had it for about a year and a half. So it's cool. No, 3 hours. I was driving back and forth before OTA started just to kind of get familiar with the facility, stay up half the week, drive back, come back again. So.
Justin, last question.
On the touchdown run, just tell us what you saw, and then it seemed like, you know, pretty emotional, pretty pumped as you got in the end zone. So just what
No, man.
experienced in that moment.
For sure. I didn't even expect to be that pumped. I was kind of thinking about what I'm going to do if I scored. I couldn't really think of nothing, but it just came down to the moment. I'm like, yo, if I see a hole, I'm hitting it as hard as I can. Just letting the natural instincts and ability take over, not overthinking it. Like, yo, let's just see what happens. So when I saw the hole, just put my foot in the ground. I'm like, I was a couple yards away. I'm like, I don't care who shows up. Like, I'm getting in the end zone. Thankfully, the guys up front, man, they were blocking their butt off. It was incredible to get some of those holes, not even getting touched until a couple yards later. So hats off to those guys for sure. Uh-oh, that's probably mom, dad, girlfriend, somebody. They like, yeah. That might be you, man. What's up, guys? What's good? Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Quick,
Oh, yeah.
What was your running back like? What were you like as a running back, I guess, back in the day?
Back in high school?
Yeah, that was the last time you played, too.
That was the last time I played, but I was like a scat kind of speed kind of guy. I kind of just did it all though. I got to get back to my roots.
Was that your position?
That was the main position that I got recruited at for sure. Most of my offers were at running back, but I got offered at Northwestern as an athlete and kind of chose safeties. Felt like longevity and just the ability to be a more coveted position. But it definitely feels good to be back for sure. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
No doubt.
Good turn down education at Northwestern.
So obviously that was the tale of two halves. That was not good in the first half. We did about everything you can do to get down 20-0. So I was proud of the group that was in there in the second half, and I thought they did a good job. Just bear with me. Thought they did a good job, and I was proud of them the way they fought back. I thought Blough led the team to give us a chance to, try to do something at the end of the game. But certainly the first half, we got to clean a bunch of stuff up.
And I know you usually want to reserve comment until you've seen the film, but maybe just a couple guys. Derrick Barnes looked like he was kind of all over the place today, and Levi got a pretty good push playing in his first game. Maybe what you thought of two of your rookies getting a chance to go out there and make some plays?
Yeah, I mean, I was. Look, Barnes popped again. I mean, and this is 2 weeks in a row. You know, he got a little bit more of a load this week than last week because he's coming back off of that hamstring, and he looks good. You know, now he's still a pup. He's got a long way to go, but I'm telling you, this is why you do these things. This is why you put them in a position to see how they're going to handle some of this and get reps and let them grow. And he's done it again. I mean, he's shown up. And that's encouraging. That's what you're looking for. But, look, there was a number of guys, just without looking at the tape, that I know stood out to me. He was one of them. Tom Kennedy was another one. Blough was another one. Godwin was one. You know, so there was a number of these guys I thought showed up and made some plays, you know. So, I mean, I thought Jalen Elliott did some good stuff too. But there again, that's without watching the tape.
First half, there was a lot of your backups going against a lot of their starters. Is that good for evaluation? Does that make it tough? I mean, how do you sort of balance that?
Look, it's like I told them, and no excuses, you know. And I know it's easy to say that from afar. It's like, well, maybe that's not a fair battle, but I don't believe that, because at the end of the day, I know there was 2 or 3 different times where they're blocked, and we got to make a play in the pass game, and we're not doing it. But the opportunity is there. And so, you know, I don't care if Decker and Ragnar are in there. That ball's still getting off, and we still got to make a play. And so, and same thing on defense, you know. You know, maybe, yeah, could it have been a little bit tighter, or maybe it's a little bit more of a fair fight? I guess you could say that. But at the same time, there again, the opportunities were there for our young guys. We got to make those plays. But here is the positive of this whole thing was, man, you guys just asked and you brought up some names. There's some guys who are growing and getting better, young guys. And there's some guys that maybe were counted out that have a chance of now making this team. And then there's some ones that maybe everybody thought was going to make it, and they're not going to make it, you know. So there's a lot of that, man. I think it showed itself very clear today in a lot of different positions and players. And that's why you do all this. Sorry, go ahead, Justin.
You've been high on your inside linebacker team, so that's a competition you were really interested in watching early in camp. The starting group you had up today with Levi and Reese Maven seemed to really struggle. A lot of, I guess, maybe open looks for coverage assignments that seems like would be their responsibility. So how do you evaluate that position coming out of this without seeing the tape?
Yeah, I mean, look, I know there was a couple of things that happened. There was more than a couple, and you know, some of those were mental. Some of those were mental that you wouldn't expect, and then some of them were physical. You know. Now let me say this about Reeves. Reeves was playing all special teams, and he was starting linebacker in the first half. So I'm not trying to. I know it sounds that way, but that's also. I mean, that's tough. He had a full load there, and so until I see exactly what was going on there, but I know that there's a couple of things that happened to those guys inside. You know, they were stressing us a little bit into 4 ways, pushing 4 receivers out to one side, and those things are a little tricky, but we got to be able to answer them. We've done that offensively. You know, our offense has done that against our defense, so we've seen it. It's not like we haven't seen it. But, yeah, I mean, look, there again, man, growing pains in some of this stuff.
Guys, and then you talked about the importance of him facing guys like Romeo in practice. Obviously, you got Melvin Ingram today.
Yeah.
How much of the stuff with him are physical things you can clean up, and how much is just sort of slowing everything down and letting him settle in?
I think it's both. I really do. I think it's both. And you know, it's funny because I'm like, man, I hope, you know, you hope Ingram plays for him. I also hope Watt would play and be over him as well, you know, and so he gets 2 different styles of really good rushers. And so, you know, you say that until your quarterback gets hit, and then you're like, man, I wish they weren't playing. But it is great for him. It really is, you know, and I think one of the first rushes he had, you know, he got him spun, you know, Sewell's trying to spin, he kind of got him opened up, but every time one of those happens, man, he's able to, and he's able to self-correct and learn from it because he's a good enough athlete and he's smart and he's competitive. And so, no, you don't like to see it, but yet, man, those are God, those are great reps for him to get. They really do help him grow. So, you know, he'll learn and be better for it.
Yeah, builds off. Two more guys.
I mean, Panay obviously has a world of potential, right? And there's some ups and downs with him, but Levi, you mentioned Barnes earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Parker is another young rookie who showed up tonight.
Yep.
Early impressions maybe of your rookie class and how much they can help you both now and what you think of them.
Yeah, well, look, Brad and I, and all the scouts and coaches, there's a reason why we picked these guys and why they're on our team, you know, because we felt like they fit what we were about, and I'm talking about the free agents too. I mean, we feel like they kind of embody what we're about, type of player. They're smart, they're tough, they're just pups, that's all. They're just pups, and so the faster they can grow and the more that we can give them to allow them to grow, it'll be better for us. And, yeah, we're going to have to – there'll be a couple of lumps in the road, but I think it'll pay big dividends in the end.
Dan, I'm curious about your quarterback situation behind Jared. What are you looking for in a backup to Jared, and has Boyle or Blough distinguished himself in that back?
Yeah, look, I would say this. I like both of our quarterbacks. I really do. I like both of them. And I think ultimately you're looking for, can I trust the guy that's behind golf? Like that's what that ultimately is. Do I know this guy's going to take care of the ball? Do I know he'll be efficient? He can efficiently move our offense. He'll give us a chance to win games, you know? Or is this something where, man, are we going to go in there and I have no idea if he's going to be able to turn the protection or re-ID, you know, we're getting these safety rotations, or he's going to be able to mic it properly in the run game, or he's, you know, that itself, or, man, he's under pressure and he's going to throw this thing to the defense. Like, I think it's a big trust. I think more than anything it's about trust. And I would say really just because we've been with these guys so long in camp, I really do trust both of them. I like them. And I think they're both very different in the way that they go about how they do things and the way they play, but yet I think they're both, even though Boyle's basically a 5-year guy, he hasn't played. I mean, he's still young in that regard. So the more he plays, the better he'll get, you know. And, look, I like both of them.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
How was it?
It was good. It felt good to me. I mean, real enjoyable. That's all I can really say. It felt real good.
Just talk about the performance, the personal performance. It's like you got a pretty good push there a couple times, were disruptive. Just how do you come out? I know you haven't watched the tape, but how do you come out thinking you did?
I think I did solid. Not where I wanted to be, 100%. Didn't play where, you know, to my standard. Obviously getting back into the things, you know, from feeling tired and everything in the field. But I think it was a solid day. Nothing crucial.
What's it like hitting somebody different than a teammate?
Oh, yeah. It was it was nice. It was real nice. I think all of us were tired of doing that for the past couple of weeks, so it was good to get out there.
I know you missed a lot of time up to this point. You're getting out there now. You had the game tonight. Just curious how much more you need before you're ready for the regular season, where you feel like you're ready for that?
I feel like I'm ready for it. I think today was something real good to get in, feel good, you know, feel your body out, take double teams, feel all that. So it usually only takes one game. Obviously, this next upcoming preseason game will be huge for that, but I think we're good.
He's playing behind you, so I don't know how much you get to see him, but Derrick Barnes, can you feel the presence that he has on the field?
DB was going crazy. I mean, he tells me it every day that, like, I'm that dude, I'm going to do what I do. So I believe him. I mean, he shows it on the field. He's the truth, without a doubt.
You mentioned getting the right feel for your body. How much are you thinking about the back at all when you're out in the field right now, just because of the problem that's been up until this point?
Oh, yeah, no, you don't think about it. By the time you go out, you feel good. So that's our medical staff. They take care of us, make sure by the time we step out on the field, we're feeling good, we're feeling free. So when I said the body, I was thinking more, you know, when you take a double team, leaning into that double team, making sure you got all your technique right.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Levi.
Okay, David Blough next. Appreciate you guys.
We were able to kind of lead 3 scoring drives there in the second half. I know there's always plays you think you left out there, but just evaluate your performance over the second half.
Yeah, I think it's always fun, always good when you can go out and just score points. It was ugly at some points. It wasn't always perfect, but I think it says something about the guys. Obviously we want to win. We want to finish. It says something about the guys that want to go out there and fight. And there's a lot of guys who are doing everything they can to do things right. And, it feels good when it shows up and some of that work is rewarded. So really proud of everybody who's out there. Evan Brown played a full game. A lot of those guys up front played all night. So really proud of, the backs running it. Tom Kennedy just keeps showing up, making plays. It was a lot of fun to be out there trying to, go have a fun comeback.
What do you think you've shown the last 2 weeks to maybe win that backup job behind Derrick?
Man, I just want to be consistent, right? I just want to go do my job. I'm here to play quarterback, and those decisions aren't up to me. I just want to go and put our team in a position to win and score points and have positive plays and lead as best I can. And I'm thankful to have a job and have the opportunity that I have.
You spend so much time working on situational football in practice. You come into both these situations, trailing, I think maybe multiple scores both times. How different is that situation versus maybe coming into like a neutral situation, like starting a game?
Right. I think, it's in the preseason, you want to run your base offense. Whether you're down 20-0 or you're up 20-0, you want to run your base offense and see what you can execute. We have game plans that, won't look the same in a few weeks. When you scheme up specifically for an opponent, but man, you want to go out there and execute every single play and give your team a chance to score.
Do we take your mobility for granted?
It's not like I said, it's not always pretty, but yeah, quicker than fast. It's yeah, I guess you could say it runs in the family.
You mentioned Tom Kennedy and the leading receiver for you guys both games of the preseason here. What is he doing well? Why is he effective for you?
He's worked his butt off for the last 2 years. You guys have seen it every day. The guy comes and gives people a look when he runs a scout team. He works his craft. He got to sit behind good receivers in the past, and his story is incredible. The Bryant lacrosse, all that stuff's incredible, and we trust him. You go out there, it's been third down a couple times, and he's made guys miss, and he's done a phenomenal job being the guy you can count on when you need a play to be made, and that gives quarterbacks confidence, and we're going to keep going to him.
One more receiver I wanted to ask you about. McKinley, you had the big throw to him against the Bills, and then today I don't know what option he was in your reads, but you did find him in the back of the end zone for that touchdown. How have you seen him developing on the practice field?
Yeah, right. I think when you get these guys who come in as rookies, it takes them a second. The game, it feels a little fast. I think as a rookie, you come in, you're swimming a little bit, and then it starts slowing down for you the more reps you get. And he's just progressed every time. And, Coach Campbell was talking about it the other day, and you can't ignore it with the ball. The ball finds a guy, he made a play, and the ball finds him, and there's something to be said about that. So he's doing an awesome job, and keep working, and, we'll keep going back to him.
Not a rookie, but another young guy, Godwin, got me into it, and he's obviously doing something that's difficult, right? Switching positions, and a month later, he's playing for a roster spot at running back. Just maybe the development that you've seen from him to this point, and how difficult this whole task has been, switching from safety to running back.
Incredible, absolutely incredible. He is never played running back, post high school, and he comes in, and you can see how bad he wants it. He's he's the last guy on the field every day out there working. A couple weeks ago, he had a practice where he fumbled twice, and he comes in and he's soaked in sweat, and he comes up to me and the quarterback and said, "Hey, I've got you. It'll never happen again." And there's something to be said about guys who care, and he's done an absolutely phenomenal job learning it, working, and I'm glad to see it rewarded tonight. He had some great runs, and another guy you trust. He's learned protection. He's never had to do it before, and he's been awesome.
We know you're a man of faith. I don't know if you've heard his story, Godwin. He's telling us that the Lord told him he would be a running back last year.
I had not heard that, but he's a great guy in the locker room, and I am a man of faith, and it's fun walking in and seeing him studying when I walk in the morning.
Just one last thing about you. You started games in this league, right? But I think I probably know the answer to this. When you come into this preseason, how much do you feel like you still have to prove, that you still have to prove you're worthy of a roster spot, and maybe what have you done in that regard, in your mind so far this summer?
Yeah, it's fun having that little bit of experience, but kind of left a sour taste in my mouth the way it ended. And I know my best football is in front of me, and every day, I have a task to get better. I've been around some great guys, and and this is my third year. This is my third #1 overall pick quarterback that I've been around in 3 years, and I get to learn from guys and just add things to my tool belt, and hopefully continue to grow as a player, as a man, as a leader. And one day when it's all said and done, I'm not going to have any regrets.
Is there something about each of those guys that you can see that made them the #1 pick, and one common theme throughout?
They're all, I hadn't really thought about it, but they're all very different. There's different styles of play from all three guys, and I can't wait to see as the season goes and keep learning from Jared and the experience he's had. And he's 42-27 as a starter, and you don't count his rookie year. He's 42-20. It's like guys won football games, and I can't wait to be around that and see this thing get pointed in the right direction.
Great. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.